Hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Zoom Speak Easy. What a special day it is. I'm in Goa with some fabulous women and a man who stands by the women that he's directed. I say this with all sincerity and I mean every word of it when I say that there are ladies in this discussion today who are not just brilliant actors but who have such strong beliefs and they stand by them. And I admire them. I'm sure you do, of course, the wonderful cast of Kadak Singh. Hello, welcome to the show. And welcome to Goa.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That was a warm welcome.
I really hope so. Like I said, I really meant it. I'll start with you, Parvati. We were just having that little discussion before the interview. It's an industry where, of course, getting roles that you can truly explore today is in a better position for women. But you've been at the juncture where it was a struggle. You still managed to sort of break that part, continue to do roles that you believed in. And even individually, you never stop talking about things publicly that you believe in as well. For people who have this belief that when you're an actor, it'll affect your brand, and it has affected you at many times, I'm sure. But you'll have to be a certain way, you have to be more commercial. I think for them, you're a ray of hope still. So Parvati, a little on that, and of course, being a part of a film like this.
Where to start? It's been a good solid 17 years since I started working in this industry, and I feel like I belong to that generation where we had a film camera only, and then the digital came, and then I feel like an old soul when I say that. But then when it comes to speaking up or continuing to speak up, I just frankly don't know how to not. That happens to be my situation. It's not something I choose to do. It's truly just who I am. And I truly can't help it because I've been told several times by even well-meaning people in my life that maybe perhaps, and then it was about what helps me sleep at night. It all boils down to that. Because I have to live with myself more than anybody else or anything else. I'm the one that I go home with is me and my conscience. And growing up, I've been a very sensitive person all my life. And I know what would have been different in my life, what I would have gone through could have been avoided if I had people like me that I watched as I grew. So I'm truly just becoming my own hero, just doing what I wish I had seen other women do. But then again, there's no pointing fingers. Life also teaches you and humbles you that people do their best or their worst, depending on what they choose. So constantly choosing this is a painful process. But then again, it becomes a point in life where you're like, okay, you're doing this for yourself. And then for some reason, you either have, for me, it was my niece. She was born and suddenly it just was a bolt of lightning. It was like, I don't want her to fight the same fight when she's 17 years old. I want her to fight different fights. But it shouldn't be like she looked around and she said that, is there anything on your part you could have done? And that sense of responsibility, if I can do that for my niece or my loved ones, I feel like I should be able to do that for anybody. That's probably it. And Kadak Singh, I will just quickly say this one thing. I think what you said is so right. Everybody in this movie has done this one thing that I was talking about in their own capacity all their lives. And I was I knew that about Tony Da. I knew that about Pankajji. But meeting Sanjana and Jaya, and I'm like, I got to witness that. And by speaking to them, it doesn't take a lot of conversation. But she's been doing that. I mean, sometimes I feel like she's a baby sister. And sometimes I'm like, she's so wisdomous.
Yeah.
It's just so much
It
more,
is so.
it is there. And I feel comforted and safe that these are the people making films and stories. Yeah.
And that is why you'd love to, I'm sure, collaborate with people like this more, right? It always makes sense. But no, I truly, truly admire what you do, both off and on screen. And now coming to Sanjana. You rightly said, I've known her for a while, so there's a certain honesty that she does everything with in her life. Sanjana, I know that it has been a struggle for you to maintain this balance. You were launched with a film that already was, considered to be in the limelight for the kind of story that it had. It continued because, of course, we all miss Sushant. Post that, people knew that you could obviously act, but to find that balance between trying to build the brand Sanjana, which others around you tell, to do certain kind of films, and yet fighting and saying that, my core value of being an actor cannot be missed. You kind of now at that stage, I feel, with the movies like this that you're doing, even with the last one that you chose, I think now you know which path you want to tread on. And not listen to the 1,000 voices that an actor gets to listen to. So tell me how that balance has been for you, because I think it's a part of growing up, no?
Absolutely. I think the difference though is that maybe I've always known, I've always known internally, because I didn't become an actor because of any external pressure. Nobody asked me to do this. Neither am I the kind of actor who grew up always dreaming of wanting to become one. So actually, it's something that I discovered and fell in love with. And when that happens, it somehow gives you a lot of freedom, because it's that now it's only, do you want to keep falling deeper and deeper in love? There is no pressure of any other kind. After Dil Bichara, of course, you start thinking that you don't just want to do what your heart is telling you. So of course, one went and did a commercial action film as well. And I feel like even that was such a joyous ride, and that taught me so much. It's a different kind of cinema. These kind of stories though are my sweet spot, because these are where you're getting to collaborate with incredible actors. You are in phenomenally able hands of filmmakers like Tony Da, who honestly can catapult the actor in you from one stage to another. So Kadak Singh's made us all a bit greedy, I feel. Because when you have such a good time making a film, you forget the tougher moments on a set, and you feel ki aise hi hota hai until you land up on another set and you're like, oops.
Like the rose-tinted glasses get a little clear.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I mean, to just sum up, like for a kid like me who comes from, Delhi, has nothing to do with films. It's just an incredible honor to be leading films as poignant as the ones that I've had the chance to do, and I just hope to keep doing that more.
I know you will. It's wonderful. And the trailer looks so interesting. All of you, I think, all characters. And then I must come to the captain of the ship. Ms. Chaudhary, I feel like what you've been able to do in the trailer that we got to see is, again, having an ensemble cast is never enough unless you can show that they all have distinctive tracks. And I feel like every time the trailer came in, you wanted to know what is going on. Of course, you see there's a central character, but what is happening with the others? And I think that comes through in the trailer as well. Like, I come out thinking, okay, it's very confusing. I don't know if he's pretending, but what's up with these women? They look nice, but are they? So I think it's very interesting that you build that narrative. I mean, of course, in the trailer as well, right? And when I was talking to Pankaj ji, we were just discussing about how among all the people who are collaborating in this, you're sure about just only some 2022 national awards, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little. Just a very humble brag.
I am reminded of
just
this
2023 or something. It might be a lesser number. But it's fascinating. Shows that you also have the perception of choosing the people that you want to work with, and you're very particular about that. So I want to know about the casting process. Why it shows the people who are here, particularly why, and also why it's important for you to collaborate with people who truly believe in your vision, and not just do it for, like, as they say, as the producers or others would say,
for the sake of
space lao, usko lao, thoda masala karte hai. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'll tell you something. This has a history. I grew up in a very middle class family, lower middle class, but I have very strong women around, including my mom. She was a housewife, but she was extremely strong. I studied in a school called South Point. It was a Kuwait school, and I was surrounded, and I was always with very strong women. Even now, my friends and foes, and in my family, everybody is very strong. They have their opinion. And I started believing in sheroes more than heroes. I think they are a much stronger sex. We pretend that we show our ye karega, wo karega. We shout, we scream, we try to show our muscle power, but they are much, much more stronger. And when you collaborate with stronger people who has a mind of their own, a lovely combination of brain and heart which can take care of a lot of stuff, your half of your work is done. All my job is to inspire them and to get inspired by them. तो उसके बाद जो होता है ना, that is a very symbiotic, beautiful relationship. And from there, it's a process of making a baby, you know. A man and a woman make a baby, and a lot of people, we together make a baby. And this film is like a baby. And where there is beautiful harmony, trust, faith, strength, the baby happens. And Kadak Singh has happened.
Wonderfully put. I think that sums up why you are who you are, right? Doing what you do.
I do whatever I want to do. One thing in life I don't want to do, but I have to do. 20% of my time. It was 70%. It has come down to 20%. Pretend and become fake. Then वो कम में भी होता है, relationship में हो जाता है. You like something, you do that. You love something, you love that. You hate something, you hate that. Do that properly.
Yeah.
I'd like to say here to that again.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you know, this energy of Tony Das is infectious. And as we've spoken about it so many times, that why is it that after 14 hours on set or 12 hours on set, are we feeling more energized than when we woke up in the morning? It's such an odd thing, right?
Sure.
You're supposed to come back crumbling, wanting to sleep. But after a day on a Kadak Singh, on our set, we just used to come back feeling all of this energy. And as artists, that's all you need, because you just need to be nurtured sometimes. And we put so much pressure on ourselves otherwise, you know, in terms of what our perceptions are, what are people thinking. But none of that will matter if your art isn't connecting to them. So, yeah, I think that's been the dominating.
Yeah. Energy and vibration. That's the most important
So
thing.
true. Moving on to another fine actor. Hello, Jaya.
Hi.
Among this 22 national awards, are 5 years already? 4, 5 are here?
I just received my 5th national award on 14th of this month. Yes.
Wow.
From our
Listen.
Honorable
Come
Prime
on.
Minister.
And that's not
That,
a
and
small feat.
she's treating us soon.
Yeah. मैंने क्या बुरा किया?
Nice. Us.
Us, na?
Us.
Us.
But fantastic, right? So I wanted to let everybody know that, of course, and this is one of your 4 films being screened at IFFI.
Yes.
So it's a lot happening here. So, and my question to Parvati was, you're again absolutely fierce in what you think, and you don't mind acknowledging what troubles you and what troubles the world, and take a stand for it. Besides doing the work that you're doing, right?
I think being a human being, just not as an actor or artist, we have some responsibility being as a human being towards the society, towards the environment, towards the world, because we are breathing, we are here, we are living being. So I think it's not, I don't want to glorify this thing. This is normal. Everyone should think like this.
Yeah.
I think.
I wish it was normal though, you know. But no, we were just talking about that, and the reason why you were also telling me that, you know, your Facebook post about Palestine, it looked like it really broke you, and
Yeah,
not many I know people would probably say like stay away from it. But I saw you put like really long posts about it and really go out there and talk about how you feel. I feel like you only do that when something's really affected you and you don't care about whether it's affecting your work, whether your associations. I think it's important to understand that and give you a lot of credit for it as well.
Oh, thank you so much. But being an the problem of the middle class is that they always read about these things, everything. But once once the problem comes not to us, we don't recognize that. But things should not be like this. Okay, this shouldn't be. We should acknowledge it can be happening in Dhaka, it can be happening in Kolkata, it can be happening anywhere of the world. So in a part of other country, it's happening, and they are also human being like us. So why? And if we talk about the globalization, why not we acknowledging?
You know, Parvati, like she was saying, people have told like to be less of what that is, right? To talk less.
Yeah.
आपके साथ भी हुआ है ऐसी सिचुएशन जहाँ पे लोगों ने कहा है कि नहीं यार काम पे करो और जस्ट चुपचाप बनो, ज्यादा बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है? A lot of women mostly are told that, right?
ये बोलते हैं लेकिन
आपको बोला है?
मेरा जो काम वो तो करना ही है। और क्या है, I will talk I will talk through my work, I will talk through my वो जो लिखती हूँ हाँ platforms. Yeah.
Absolutely, very proud of what you're doing as
Thank
well.
you so much.
Thank you. Talking about doing diverse rules, I saw your emo post about Tangalan, which is something that a lot of people are excited about. You must tell me a little on that, because I saw you also putting out like a emo post on the rap and talking about what the film means. I know you have a very important role.
Yes. So I think 2022 and 23 both have been really, what do you call it, diverse years of my career actually as an actor. Yes. Mainly because I got to do a Hindi film, and again with a Kadak team. And then I did my first Telugu series. And then I also got to work in 2 beautiful Malayalam films. Just they haven't come out yet. And I don't know why it's delayed, but everything seems to be coming out at the last minute, like pop. And I'm like, nice, this is interesting. And then there's Tangalan, which was a very unexpected addition to this. There again, we have a director like Paranjit, who is leading his own movement. And to be part of it, we can see it from the trailer or the teaser that they have now brought out. It's set in like 1890s. And that's a time where another kind of oppression like never really leaves. Like it just changes its form and shape and different spots in the world, right? So I think at that point, women and their journey was very less recorded. So writing this character for him and for me to perform was like going on a wild chase. Like we couldn't quite figure out, but we had to do it right by then. So it was a very formative experience for me. We'd say formative years are like 16 to like 22 or like that. I feel like in my 30s now, suddenly I'm feeling like a child again, learning from scratch many things because of these characters that I'm getting to do.
It's fantastic. And while we are at that, there's often been a conversation about, is there equality truly today for both men and women in films? When I see films like this, I feel yes, it is. But you've often brought out very thoughtfully the point of how pay parity is a different discussion, because the money is so abnormally huge for the male actors that I don't think parity is a question at all.
Parity is not at all.
You know what I mean? Is that like, and you rightly said that sometimes respect has to go beyond money, but money is an important part of it. I want to understand how you feel today, because you're one of the most celebrated actors in the country who's done roles, as I say it, leading it in different languages. I want to understand how you feel that today, because this conversation has been going on for years. But people always, from the other side, the discussion is, but it's also about the box office and what you bring to the table.
I would say I would not go as far as saying I've actually understood it. Still stumps me.
Sure.
Most of the times when something as basic as this cannot be understood, or is they're refusing to understand because it benefits them. So why doesn't exploitation stop? Is because there are powerful people who are benefiting from the exploitation. So I felt at this point the biggest task is to bring in more people from different genders, all genders, at positions where decisions are being made. So you got to go to that level of, you have to really start bringing in diversity and representation in all the levels. Only then can actors do anything. I feel like by the time it comes to casting, there is a lot of decision already made at the grassroots level, and we need to understand who are making those decisions. And I feel that's less understood and talked about. That's at least been my journey for the last 7 years. Because hum kitna bhi halla machaye, no matter what all we talk about, there is less action done at the source of it. To the extent that even in the journalistic space, I'm now seeing at the editorial room, seeing more women and more transgenders as part of the team, so that they are now representing on behalf of the entire community. So I feel like unless and until we bring in that representation, sort of an inclusion rider for the technical crew as much as the production and all, not just casting में बोलना आसान है और मे बी करना भी थोड़ा बहुत आसान रह जाएगा, बट unless and until the decisions are being made by a diverse group, parity to chodo, like just understanding just basic human nature. And the fact is, what I feel is we're missing out on is that the more diversity comes, there is this myth that the ones that are holding the power will lose out. It's a misunderstanding. You will actually have more in life when you share that power with everybody else. And but that's a long game. That's a long game. I mean, wo samjhane ke liye, like, we can't. Maybe like Jaya said, our work should speak.
Absolutely. And like I said, no, films like this where you get an opportunity, you get things like an equal is a reminder that we can probably follow patterns like that, right?
Yeah.
But I think ending on that lovely note, thank you so much. Like you already must have guessed, I really like the trailer and I'm looking forward to watching all you wonderful women and one of my favorite people, Pankaj on screen. So thank you. You all had fun as well.
Thank
Thank
so
you.
much.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time. Lots of love.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you so
Always a
much.
pleasure. Thank you so
Nice.
much. I like how he's refusing. I am not doing that. Thank you so much.
Don't even
Come on,
do
yes.
this.
Okay.
Come on.
Don't do
do
this.
Ah.
See?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Lots of love.